Hi Abeka family, my name is Teresa Gonzalez and I am a homeschooling mama of 4 kids. Been homeschooling for the past 4 years. My daughter Grace is in 3rd grade, Haddon is in 1st grade, Emery is in kindergarten, and Harry is my 2-year-old who just gets to hang out with mama all day long. One of the things that Abeka does well is provide an all-inclusive curriculum that is very simple to navigate. When I first started homeschooling, the idea of keeping track of multiple grade levels was very daunting to me. Abeka's website made it simple and allowed me to have full control of my kids' schedule, of their progress, and it helped me keep track of their trajectory. Today, I am going to give you a look at the ins and outs of the Abeka dashboard on the Abeka website. So let's dive right in. So the first thing that you want to do is head over to the Abeka website and then click on Login. Now, if you do not have an account yet, this is when you go ahead and create your account. If you do have an account, you just click Login and you log in with your email and password. This is where you usually start off. You go up to the Homeschool. This is where you have an overview of Abeka. Then you choose whether you do parent-led or Abeka Academy. So those choices have already been made. So what we are going to do is go up to our dashboard because this is where we're going to find all of the information that we need in order to keep track of our kids' school. So you're gonna go all the way down to dashboard. And here we go. This is where I have all of the information for my kiddos. And this is what makes it easy for me to navigate through my kids' curriculum and see their progress and just see where they're at. So the first thing that I want to point out is this section right here, the notification section. This is where you are going to have all of the email and the correspondence from Abeka. Now, I've kept a lot of mine, but you can see here is a welcome letter for Grace, a welcome letter for Haddon, your enrollment confirmation, enrollment agreement. All of this is going to be easily attainable for you in your inbox. You can archive if you want. I like to keep everything here because I like to have it at a moment's notice. So next I want to direct your attention to the calendar. The calendar is right down here for us, and this is a great tool where you can see, again, a bird's eye view of your kids' schedule. What's really neat about the calendar is that here you have an option to either view your calendar or your kids' calendar, your students' calendar, and you could choose to see just your own or all at once. So I like to put up sometimes just Grace's calendar to look to see what she has due that day. So on December 8th, we see that Grace has Arithmetic 3, Bible 3, and then if we look to see what other events are here, we can see everything that Grace has to do on that day. And that way I am on top of it and I know and I can see these being checked off as she completes them. Another thing that you're able to do is you're able to set up categories. One of the categories that they really look forward to is the holidays. They like to see their calendar, they like to know what's coming up, and having all of these categories here gets them really excited about what's next on their list. You also have an opportunity to create a new category. So we're gonna create this one together, and this one is called Playdate. We'll pick a color because that makes it fun. Let's pick blue. Okay, so now there it is. We have a play date on our calendar. And if we know we have a play date coming up Friday evening, then we say play date with Ruth. The category here is play date, playground. Then when is our start date? We had said it was December 11th, and we're gonna make this play date a little bit later to make sure that we are all done with school. So we're gonna make it at 3:30, and it's going to end at 5 o'clock. It's a long play date for them. There we go. So we put this here as a to-do list item. So that means that the kids, once they see it on their dashboard, they're also going to be able to check it off. And then you can pick here, who do you want to apply it to? In this case, we're applying it to everybody. We're going to select all because this includes the entire family. And there you go. On our calendar is a play date on December 11th at 3:30 p.m. It helps the kids stay motivated and it gives them something to look forward to. Another thing that you can do here is that you can choose to view it as a monthly calendar, a weekly calendar, or a daily calendar. And you also have the option of printing. There are also different ways to get to your calendar. You can go up to the dashboard and just come right down here under dashboard where it says calendar, and you will be directed to this page again. That's just a faster way of getting there. So now we're gonna chat profiles, and this is something that I use every single day, and it's right here, my students. This is where I keep track of the kids' progress. So today we're gonna go into Gracie's profile. So here we see that Grace is in the 3rd grade. She is an independent study student. She has video streaming, and we started with Abeka this year in May 4th of 2020, which means they gave us a year to complete it. So we should be done with the 3rd grade by May 4th of 2021. So here is where we can pick her login information and give her a password so that when she is doing her studies and she is doing her student video lessons, she'll know what her password and her login information is. Then here is her image, my sweet Grace. I can pick a different image for her if I wanted to, but this one is super, super sweet of her smiling. And then we also go back to her calendar length. This is very important. This is where you can adjust your academic calendar. You can pick 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months. So I like to pick the 12-month option because that way, if we decide to travel or if we decide to take a longer vacation, then we can kind of plug in school as we go along and don't feel really restricted to the 6 months or the 9 months. Now, that is an option. If you want your student to finish school in 9 months, which is the standard, you can do that. Or if you want an accelerated program for 6 months, that is also available. Something that's nice about it too is that you can change it as you go. So if you started with the accelerated program for 6 months and then realized that it was just a little bit too fast, you wanted to now switch to standard, you can do that anytime, as well as the extended 12-month program. So now down here, this is our subject progress. This is where I could see exactly how much of each subject Gracie has finished. It also tells me how long the lesson is, how long she watched, whether she completed it, and the date that she viewed it. Now, this is also very important because as with any program, sometimes there might be a little bit of a glitch, or sometimes they might close the lesson before the time is really up. So if I know that she has completed this lesson, then I can come in as a parent and I can mark it as complete. And then it keeps her on track here in the system. This is also really important for when you have to turn in information to the state. I live in Texas, so in Texas I don't really have to turn anything in, but sometimes they require a letter of intent and sometimes they require some progress reports. This will show you the subject name, the subject length in hours, the number of lessons, and then the total time streamed. So when I'm preparing for the day for the kids, I like to have this screen open, but I also like to have my video manual on hand. And although this provides a really good bird's eye view of what your kids are doing, the video manual goes into a lot more detail. And so an example right here, we'll see that science, her next lesson is lesson 77. And if I look up at the video manual, then I could see here that science, she has to do a worksheet. She hit worksheet number 9. So it tells me what I need to have ready for her. I need to have her worksheet 9 ready. They're going to review for test 4. And no new pages would be read in EGW, which is their science book. But But then it tells me for homework that I have to have the students complete worksheet number 9 and remind the students to study for test 4. Having the dashboard and the subject progress along with the video manual is very, very helpful as you're guiding your kids through their homeschooling curriculum. So the dashboard is also very helpful if you have purchased anything extra. If you have any digital clip art, digital assessment, or other videos, or digital textbook, it will all show here. It also shows if you have extra streaming subscriptions. We subscribe to a few extra hours of streaming, and so it shows here, and it also shows our subscription status and how much of it we have left. So that is the overview of the dashboard, and I hope that you found it as helpful as I do. The dashboard helps me navigate through our kids' curriculum, and it allows me to stay on track. One of the things we love the most about Abeka is their flexibility, and having everything in one place in clear sight. It allows me to feel confident in what I'm doing, and it allows our kids to succeed. So thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Teresa. You can find me at withlove_Terry. If you have any more questions, let me know.